60, Andrew, so I can take a break, and then we do the best bets, and we're out. Friday, guys, two monster games in the NHL. I wrote monster games because it's the Anaheim Ducks, the Winnipeg Jets, and the LA Kings in Chicago. Minus 300 favorites or higher. Why do they do this on a Friday night? But with Andrew soaking up the Rays in Punta Cana, we have the Prez on again, third time this week. It is the gift that keeps on giving. Prez, you took my money at poker last night. Actually, it wasn't really you. It was pretty much the other guys at the table. I had a losing session, but you did very well. How you doing?
Great, brother. Except the hand after you lost, me against Mark Bergman, I had ace king, he had ace jack. I bet ace flop, ace 2-4 rainbow. I bet every single street. He called all the way, $1,000 in the pot, jack on the river. So
Yeah.
that didn't go well, but I did turn a profit last night. Not a very big one, but I did turn a profit. Thanks for having me, Carm. And I'm
I
sorry that you
yeah.
lost last
Listen,
night. You had a shitty loss at the end there.
it's yeah. The whole day was a complete disaster. We're not talking
Yeah.
sports betting, although the Vegas Golden Knights absolutely just capped off the night by completely falling apart in the third period against the Calgary Flames. But it was just a mix of everything from like phone calls to shows to doctor's appointments. All the bad news I could get all came on Thursday. I'm hoping for a much better Friday. But yeah, I had a guy chase down to the river with a three high flush draw, and he gets there and makes a straight when I flop top two with ace 10. So yeah, it's a little disappointing. That was about a $400 or $500 pot, and that pretty much makes me even on the night, and I'm heading home. But with that said, guys, we're going to discuss these two games today. We are going to discuss a prop bet that I released to clients earlier this morning, and I really love this prop bet for this season points totals. I'm going to give it to you guys on the show. We have the 6 and 60 and the ladder challenge. The ladder challenge, the Buffalo Sabres. What can you say? They keep us alive. We're going to play number 5, and just a little sneak peek. We are not playing a game tonight on the ladder challenge. My idea of the ladder challenge is you pick games you want to pick because you want to win. So we are going to give you a game on Saturday, and we have a special guest who's going to do the ladder challenge play for us today. But Prez, let's get right to it. Winnipeg Jets minus 410 tonight. The Anaheim Ducks plus 315. The total is 5.5 over 20. Man, a line like this, and we're seeing these lines late in the season. How do you play a game like this? Or
Well,
do
you
you?
call your buddy who works at another website who competes with you, who tweets out that he's on a minus 4,000 college basketball bet, and you say, hey, how do you attack a minus 400 450? Amateur hour. I take minus 4,000s. So why not take Winnipeg? No, I'm kidding, man. I actually like the over. And also, in regards to my friend, I goddamn love that guy. Just been making fun of him for 2 days, but I have a lot of love. I like the over in this game, Carm, which is shocking given that I have bet. Just about every time I bet a Winnipeg game, I'm betting it under. It did go over last game. Meaningless goal in the last 10 seconds of the game took it to 6. But here I look at this game and I think Winnipeg team total over, game over. Winnipeg puts up 6 themselves. This is a breakout offensive game for the Winnipeg Jets. And I think we need Anaheim to get us 1. I think 5-1 feels like a good score to me. I have no issue if you guys want to take minus 2.5, minus 3.5. I think it's going to be a blowout. Put Winnipeg in some of your parlays. I don't do that, but I know you guys might. But I really, really feel like Winnipeg's going to put up a big number tonight. You know, in the last 3 out of the last 4 games, Anaheim has allowed 7, 6, and 6. The Chicago Blackhawks put 7 up on them. New York Islanders 6, Dallas Stars 6. I think Winnipeg gets to 5 tonight. I think Anaheim gets us 1. I think we see a 5-1 score. Take the over, take Winnipeg -2.5.
I can see that. I'm going to have a player prop on this game just because Anaheim allows a lot of shots on goal. I'm going to have that at the end of the show. But Anaheim played last night in Minnesota, so they're going to take the Moose up to Winnipeg for this one. It's not a long trip for them, but second of back-to-back, Prez. They are 3-5 in 8 situations like this thus far this season, getting outscored by 1.25 goals per game in those 8 games. Total goals scored in those games is 6.51, which kind of backs up the over 5.5. I think in this one, I would probably lean there because I just can't see how you play Winnipeg. You can't even play them on the puck line just because the vig is so high. You can't play them in regulation because you're still laying 270 or what have you in this one. It's only if you go to the alternates market as far as this game goes. But they stuck us with these 2 games. We've got to discuss them. So I'm going to take the over in this one. And it's like you said, they probably only need 1, and Winnipeg will provide the rest of the scoring. 5-1 scoreline gets us there. Everyone's happy. And we move on to the next game. And I will have the player prop at the end of the show. All right, Prez. Chicago Blackhawks, Los Angeles Kings. Listen, -270 on the LA Kings. I get it, you're playing Chicago. And in all honesty, Chicago need help tanking, but this is what they're the best thing for these teams like Chicago, like San Jose, is to just bet against them the rest of the NHL season because one of these 2 teams is going to end up, Prez, with the highest
Yep.
percentage of winning that draft pick this year and next year's draft. And there's some good there's some good prospects in the draft. So thoughts on this game? Can you lay 270 with the LA Kings?
No, I can't. And I don't know if we're going to see Chicago tank, Carm. I would be concerned about that. I'm pretty positive we're going to see San Jose continue to tank and lose. But man, Chicago's won 3 of their last 4. And I think turning their culture around is not that it needs to be turned around. I mean, this is a historically brilliant franchise, but last few years have been tough. I would be careful just fading Chicago moving forward, actually. When I look at this game, I like the under here, Carm. I know that Chicago has put up 7 and 7 in their last 2 games. That's a total anomaly. This is a team that really struggles to get to 2 goals in a game. LA Kings are really strong defensively. They're also coming off of a loss, so I think we're going to see them want to win this game. For if the LA Kings are going to win games, they're going to win them 3-1, 3-2, 2-1 type of a game. I like the over in the Jets game. I like the under in the Chicago LA Kings game. I don't have much to say. I mean, neither of these games excite me greatly, to be honest with you.
No, listen, I get it. It's the ones we're stuck with. But I appreciate you offering to come on the show because we weren't going to have a show today. I was just going to tape the 6 and 16, maybe discuss the 2 games real quickly with producer Dan. But you look at the Kings; they're tied for with the Vegas Golden Knights on 77 points. They're in the 7th and 8th spots. The Knights obviously lose last night against Calgary, and the Golden Knights aren't a given to make it into the playoffs. You got the Minnesota
No.
Wild, Prez, on 73 points. The St. Louis Blues are still in the mix. The Calgary Flames still playing scrappy enough that they're 8 points back of that playoff spot with 17 games left. Kings need this. The Kings can't afford to lose games to the Chicago Blackhawks, especially this late in the season. Agree?
Yeah. Yeah, but I'm not, you know what, Carm, I'm not going to take the number's too big. And we've been there before, man. I remember a very wise, incredibly handsome, bald man yesterday tell us a story about the Pittsburgh Penguins needing to win against the Chicago Blackhawks to make the playoffs on the final day of the
Yes.
season. The moral of that
Yeah.
story is
And
teams in must-win games aren't great teams to begin with, or they wouldn't be in a must-win game. Way too
yeah.
much
No,
chalk on this game, and I would not be floored if Chicago wins it. Carm,
yeah.
I
No,
can't log
I
on
feel
right
I
now,
feel the
but
same way.
I can't seem to log on right now. But do you know what the Vegas Golden Knights line is to make the playoffs?
I can. It's not up at DK right now because I checked this morning because I wanted to update some plays that I have, but it's not there. It'll likely be there on Monday, and we can discuss it on Tuesday's show. Starting goalie Arvid Soderblom for Chicago tonight, 4-18, 3.88 goals against average. The save percentage is really troubling. 8.79 save percentage. Anytime it's under 9, Prez, it's going to be bad. And I get it. It's Chicago as a whole have not been a good team this year. So the goalies obviously are going to have statistics like 4-18 on the regular season. All right. We're
Carm,
going to move on to a player prop.
Carm, one
And
second.
and Prez, anything to add? Yeah, go
Yeah,
ahead.
Vegas is minus 700 to make the playoffs. There is no bet there. But the Buffalo Sabres, plus 1,600 to make the playoffs, brother. You think there's value there? I mean, that seems like a lot for a team that's so close.
It is. I think the price is a little higher on the Sabres just because they played a couple more games than the teams around them, and those games in hand this late in the season obviously mean a lot. But you can't discount them. I talked about yesterday with the ladder challenge play, and it was a
Yep.
play for my clients as well too. Pekka Luukkonen is playing unbelievable in goal, and the Sabres have bought into playing defense in front of them and finding a way of scoring goals. And once they got up a couple of goals on the Islanders, I thought it was done, and it was. Essentially, it was done. They beat the Islanders to move a little bit closer, 3 points out, but it's those games in hand. So they're gonna need another run as well too, where they win 5 out of 6 games. We're talking about they're going into Detroit tomorrow to play the Red Wings. And this is the troubling things, Prez. They have yet to win 4 games in a row this season. Playoff teams win at least 4 games in a row throughout the season.
Many
Is a team
times.
that has, yeah, many times. It's a thing that and where losing teams when you have these 6 or 7 game losing streaks and you have them a couple times throughout the season, it pretty much you are burying yourself, and that's what the Sabres did early in the season. I just think it's too much to overcome at the end, but they're giving the fans something to cheer for at the very least. If there's a measure of hope, it puts asses in the seats, I should say. This is a prop bet, Lawrence. I'm going to run it by you, and you guys in the chat. You guys can tell me. Uh, Please hit that like button. A lot of you guys viewing, let's get those likes up. Hit the subscribe button, and then drop a comment if you're watching this video later, and tell me what you think of this prop bet. I released this to clients after I bet it this morning. The Pittsburgh Penguins team total is 85.5 points at DK right now, minus 115 both ways. So it hasn't been juiced minus 150 or what have you. They have 67 points with 17 games left, which means they're going to need 19 points for this bet to lose, which means they have to go something like 10-7 if you discount like points picked up in overtime, or average 1.12 points per game over these 17 games. Now, listen to this schedule for the Pittsburgh Penguins. At home, they play the Rangers, the Detroit Red Wings twice, the Carolina Panthers, Tampa Bay Lightning, the Boston Bruins, the Nashville Predators, and 1 game against Columbus, which is a back-to-back. On the road, 9 games. New Jersey Devils twice. Devils are in a playoff race. The Dallas Stars, the Colorado Avalanche, the New York Rangers, the Toronto Maple Leafs, the New York Islanders, the second of a back-to-back against Columbus, and the Washington Capitals. So, with the exception of, let's say, the back-to-backs against Columbus and maybe the Washington Capitals, who by that time may or may not have been eliminated, but are still a rival, how do they pick up 19 points for me to lose this bet?
They don't.
Any
Uh,
thoughts?
can you do an alternate on them not getting 14 points? They're not going to get close to that number. And we spoke about this yesterday. Although Pittsburgh did beat San Jose, and way to go, Pittsburgh. You should be very proud of yourselves. This is a team that's in disarray. It's in turmoil. This is a team that has been just terribly managed for a few years now. Look, I'm not going to blame Dubas. He inherited a mess. With that said, he is a mess himself. So, if you put a mess on top of a mess, what do you have? A lot of mess. There is no way that they get 19 points. I think that is an absolutely awesome bet. And way to unearth that bet, Carm. How bored were you when you were trying to find that bet?
Yeah, I had plenty of phone calls to make this morning for some doctor's appointments and tests and stuff. And I had to fix my chair. A lot of stuff to do this morning. So took a break. I made myself a tea and not an espresso, a tea. So if I screw something up in the show, blame the non-espresso Carm on it. But I always go through the futures in the morning because I figure if you can find something and you can make money off of it, bet it, and then release it to clients because I need to get a bunch of winning plays out to my clients so I don't get stoned at the next meet and greet that we have in, in Vegas. With that said, guys, I'm going to do the 6 and 60 now. And then we're going to do the ladder challenge, our best bet segment. And then we're going to close it out on the show Friday. I'm going to let the Prez close out the show today because I know you guys
Wow.
love it when the Prez is on. So, Dan, excuse me. With that said, let's start the clock on the 6 and 60. All right. Ottawa and the Islanders. Islanders off back-to-back shutout losses on the road, but they're home now and 2-0 versus the Sens this week. Isles in regulation. Rangers and Pittsburgh. Rangers money line here. Rangers off a loss to Tampa, and I'll take them against a struggling Pittsburgh team anytime. Forget about that win over the Sharks. That's nothing. Devils, Arizona, taking the Devils money line. Devils off a big win against Dallas yesterday. First game back for Arizona off a road trip. Give me the Devils here. Montreal and Calgary. I'm going to take the under 6. Both teams playing scrappy hockey right now. Montreal four straight unders. Previous meeting 2-1 in Montreal. LA Kings, Dallas. Dallas money line. Stars off back-to-back home losses, but they are 6-2-2 last 10 at home, and they've won both meetings 5-1 and 4-1. Finally, Washington and Vancouver. Vancouver puck line, third and four nights for the Capitals, fourth and six nights for them. Canucks puck line here. That's your 6 and 60. And I beat the clock.
I was gripped.
I beat the clock.
I was gripped. I was like, is he going to do it? Is he going to make it? How many more does he have to go? That was dramatic.
So, Prez, so listen to this. So last week I did, and I want you to critique one or two plays if you don't like them. By all means, tell us. I don't mind. Last week I did a special 6 and 60. It was 6 and 60 and 60, which meant every team had to win in regulation. The very first game, which is like, and one of the guys in the chat, John Marchese, will tell you the very first game on my 6 and 60. If it's an early game, it seems to tank, and then everything else goes well. I end up going 5-1 on the regulation bets. Edmonton blows a 2-0 lead to the Sabres, lose that game in overtime, and all 5 games after that, all won. I posted a $100 ticket paying $3,600, and the Sabres squashed me out of 3,600, or Edmonton, whoever you want to blame on that one. So it's a smorgasbord of regulation, puck lines, money lines, overs and unders this week on the show. Anyone that you don't like on this card?
I've come up with a different plan. We're going off pieced right now. Dan, hook me up for a 6 in 60. I'm going to do it on the spot. I haven't even looked at the card tomorrow. And let's see who wins.
Don't
Okay.
do it, Dan.
Dan, hook me up. Put that shot clock on. I'll wait. I'm going to wait. Oh, Dan needs a second, everybody. I'm going to do this for you all on the spot, and I'm going 4-2 minimum. Ready? Go. Okay, guys, 6 in 60. I like the Detroit Red Wings tomorrow, revenge game. They got to get their act together. If they lose tomorrow against Buffalo, this team is out of it. I love the Rangers. Carm did as well. Minus 140 against Pittsburgh. I am fading Pittsburgh all day long. I like the New Jersey Devils too. They're in the playoff hunt. They are a bet on team moving forward. They got a goalie now, albeit not great. And then we keep going. I like the Toronto Maple Leafs to beat Carolina. I gave out Carolina against the Rangers a few nights ago. I'm familiar with both these teams. Take Toronto. I like Seattle to beat Nashville and Vancouver on the puck line. Is that 6? Minnesota Wild. There we go. Was that? I don't even know how many I gave out there, dude.
In the famous words of Lawrence's better half, Vivian, you shot your shot and you failed miserably. But we appreciate you coming out
I tried.
and look. I hope you guys are all looking forward to my penalty box segment next Tuesday on the show, and then
I
my
am.
non-presidential
Hell
report
yeah.
on NFL football. But guys, it's the ladder challenge next. We won yesterday. We're on play number 5. So now the amounts have gone up. We are getting close to some decent money on this. If we can go 7-0 on this ladder challenge. So from the bar or the beaches or of Punta Cana, I'm not sure how many drinks he had prior to filming this morning, but here is our co-host Andrew McInnes with the ladder challenge play.
What's up, guys? Andrew here from beautiful Punta Cana with the ladder challenge play of the day. Try and keep this one short and simple. Arizona 4-16 their last 20 games. Devils 12-5 last 17 meetings against the Arizona Coyotes. 4 straight winners in Arizona for the Devils. Off a big win for the Devils and off a little bit of a road trip for the Coyotes. We're going to lock in the Devils for Saturday night in the NHL for the ladder challenge play. Best of luck, guys. I'll see you next time.
There you have it. So the New Jersey Devils, fresh off that win in Dallas, where they win 6-3, a big win for them in that game, and they're 4 points out of a playoff spot. As mediocre as they have been this season, they have a chance to make the playoffs in an Eastern Conference where 3 or 4 teams are battling for a spot. So if that ladder challenge play hits, we're at 2K and counting going into play number 6. So by the time Tuesday rolls around and you're on the show, Prez, we could be going for a 7 or 8K payout on the on our 7th and final play. 7 plays.
So it goes 7?
7 plays.
Whoa,
yeah.
Gripping.
We said we would do 7. So we are on play number 5. All right, Prez. I'm going to go first here. So then you can do your best bet on the show and then close out the show. I'm going to go to that game tonight. The only play I'm going to have on this Winnipeg and Anaheim game, I did mention, I do lean to the over in the game, but I'm going to take Josh Morrissey over 2.5 shots, minus 135. He's gone over the total in both games against Anaheim this season. Anaheim allows a lot of shots. So if you're going to play these player props, always go against a team that does allow shots on goal. And I like the Jets in this spot, obviously. So let's see them pepper Anaheim and their goalie tonight. Josh Morrissey over 2.5 shots on goal. Guys, I'm going to have a 5% play up in the NHL. You'll find it on my page over at WagerTalk in the next hour, along with another card of NHL for Saturday and plenty of soccer this weekend. So maybe pick up a 3-day all access, get all plays Friday, Saturday, and Sunday. Prez, over to you for your best bet and for you to close out the show. Let us know what you have up at Wager Talk.
Brother, first, super fun. Thank you for including me on these shows and allowing me to sit in the 6 for 60 seat. I will not tweet it out. It is not my segment, and I'm cheering for you. Okay, my show best bet is the Kings under 5.5. Take that with a grain of salt. I'm not going near these games tonight. I have a really big play tonight. 90% of my college basketball plays are 2% plays. I haven't had a college basketball bet over a 2% in probably a week. Today I got a 4%. These are super rare. I'm absolutely dominating. 21-6 all sports run, 5-1, 8-2, 14-5 college basketball run. My college basketball is up 50 units on the season, Carm. So I'm absolutely seeing college brilliantly, and I did as well last year. So it's not some kind of aberration. So please check that out. I have a promo code Prez25 that gives you 25% off any package that I have up on my site. Lots of love, everybody. We got Wager Talk today starting in half an hour. Gianni, Andy, and Art joining us. Carm, thanks again for having me, bro.
All right. Thanks again, Prez. Thanks for closing out. We will see you guys all on Monday when we have much better games to discuss. It'll likely be Prez again because Andrew will still be on vacation. And hopefully Brian Leonard will be back from spring training back into his regular seat. For myself and the rest of the Wager Talk crew, guys, good luck with your wager.